We back. We back. We back. If we a little bit early with it. A little bit. Sheesh. Mm-hmm. All right. Turn this thing. Oh, I gotta give me a timer real quick. On the timer. Timer. It did advise out. It was. It was. It was. All right. Oops. Did I? Okay. 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 Mm, think I sent it to everybody. I think. Uh, uh, I think we good. We Gucci now. I sent it to everybody. Moni, what's up? Hey, start early. I wanted to do this topic last night, but I was tired and I wanted to get full energy. I didn't want to. I said start a little early tomorrow or later today. Lucretia, what's the deal, man? I'm good. I'm blessed, man. You know the usual. You know, another day to try it again. Another day to become better. You feel me? If y'all can real quick, share some more people. If y'all met new people, share to them. That's how we expand. That's how we get some stuff going. And other people get more people, and people know people, then they know people of knowing people. So I know I made that one up. Made that one up. Hmm. So we see the topic today, man. I know some people be saying they can't see it sometimes. Say your fact ain't everyone else's fact. So that's the reason why I'm getting to this. Actually, another live made me think of this though, because a lot of people, and sometimes I realize you just can't get hurt in certain areas because they got their minds made up. So, you know, but it is what it is. I do what I do for a reason. Um, but the thing is, everybody come with these things where they feel like, and I don't even be trying to do that myself. That's why I say it's a person that whatever somebody feel like they want to understand a certain situation. Everybody don't know the truth. You know what I'm saying? We just guessing it. We going on what makes sense to us. Oh, so yeah. Yeah, there we go. We good. We good. We good. We good. But yeah, this what came from because everybody said they stand on what they stand on. That's why this first question like that because I asked this question. Seems like everybody know the definition of what a real man and a real woman is. And if you don't give the definition they want, I guess you don't know. You're not a real man. You're not confident who you are. I'm trying to say that's why I asked the last part. Who determines that though? I don't get it though. Everybody be standing on stuff that they got no proof behind. Like, oh, this is how I feel. I feel this is what a real woman or a real man is. It's a reason why I know people be saying stuff when I be saying things are subjective or something. It might trigger them sometimes. Why you keep saying that? That's your favorite word. But I mean, that trying to be true. It show like the reason why I say that is because we can't. What's the deal? OB in the building. What's up, my brother? It's the reason why I say it a lot because the thing is like it just come with me being open minded though. Because like I said, I realize it's case by case. Just like well, one scenario work for one person, and it don't work for the next. I am big on majorities though, but it don't mean it's absolute. Start on for the most part on different things. So that's why I say I don't try to stand. This for sure. This is going to work for everybody because everybody doing it or something like that. I can only say what I feel and what and what what I feel for the majority based off observation and try to make sense out of it. That's all I do. You know, that just be funny. I learned a lot in that. I mean, I learned well different things in that about different people in that room though. Some people just come on here, they gonna stand on what they stand on. They gonna take up for anything that sound good, depending on what your audience is. So it makes sense. I just can't do that though. Like literally, I'm the type. If I feel like my audience is wrong, I'm gonna check that too. Like I do fair game with everybody. So I said I'm not on here to really make no friends. I really try to, I put that out there on. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I'm on here just to bring different perspectives. Um, Address what I feel is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say that because I feel it's wrong that it mean it is wrong, but just an explanation to understand why you feel this certain situation is right. You know what I'm saying? And try to for us to make sense out of it to understand one another. That's what I do on here. I'm not the judge, you know what I'm saying? I'm not the ultimate judge. You know what? Just because I said it's wrong, it mean it is wrong. You know what I'm saying? That just be weird. People, and I be just laughing at people that do stuff like that. And I understand them though, because everybody say, I got to stand on what I stand on. But shoot, at the end of the day, I'm a person that I commit that I don't know everything. I go based off. I'm a human just like everybody else. I just try my best to try to go with what like I said, some situations based off what I feel is right. Some stuff we can call facts, but even some of those statistics or whatever we want to call it, we try to go based off what we feel is safe. Even statistics can be wrong, but shoot, we try to go. You know what I'm saying? Our history, the little history books we be looking at, it could be some wrong stuff in it, but we go, hey, we feel like it's right, because we wasn't there in history with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing they do with the Bible. Like all this stuff they be trying to do, or they try to act like that they know for sure. I don't think nobody knows something 100% for sure, unless it's dealing with their own life. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But if you wasn't there during these times and then standing 10 toes on it, like you just know, well, I know for sure. That's crazy. That's just you're not even being real with yourself. That's why I be laughing at people be trying to down people, weight stuff people believe and all this other stuff. Like, and then stuff. Nah, I'm a factual person. I go off of scientific things that's been proven and all that stuff or whatever. Even though I get it, but like I said, I still leave a little room of it still could be wrong. You know what I'm saying? Just because a scientist come out their mouth with it, that don't mean that is right. I mean, that don't mean it's facts. Or I guess facts is a social construct. So I guess you could say that. But what I mean is like don't mean it got to be truth. Truth and facts is two different things. And the truth, I don't think everybody, we can believe in if it's true or not, but we really don't ain't gonna know unless we are the ones that created the truth. Uh, Rage, how you feeling, my brother, man? I see it's 9 of y'all in here, man. I need y'all to tap away, my guys. You know, I had to get it out real quick. Need y'all to tap it up, man. Give me the at least 5K for now. Yeah, we can do that for now because we got some time waiting on that football game to come. You know, my Lions about to start. They about to play. See what they gonna do tonight. Try to see if we gonna get to that Super Bowl. You know, you know. But yeah. I don't know. I'm just trying to. I guess I'm trying to get people to be a little bit more. Yo, yeah, you already know, Mr. Detroit came in perfect time. You know, Detroit Lions, my brother. Uh, yeah, I'm just trying to like. That's the reason why I do that, and that's why I go in different rooms. I know a lot of people lately be like, "No, you need to stay out of the areas and these areas that you know." I feel it though, but I think I think sometimes you gotta challenge yourself to see where you stand. That's all. That's how I look at it. You gotta challenge yourself. Because everybody can do the talk, you know. I'll do this, I'll do that. I'm healed, I'm all this stuff. But have you ever tested your healings out? I mean, nobody. I mean, you could say it all day, but have you ever tested it out to see if you about what you say? You know. So sometimes you got to do that. Like I said, if I'm a person that advocate for or I talk about preach on controlling your emotions or emotional regulation for the words that because sometimes you say control, and I think for the most part, a lot of people have a problem with that word. But I say it anyways. I don't care. Control your emotions, aka emotional regulation, right? You know. If you feel like if I speak on it, then I gotta see if I'm about it. You know, okay, we gotta practice what we preach. You can't just preach about it and then sit there and snap on somebody the next minute. Like, dog, what the heck? You just hypocrite. So yeah, that's how that's how you get a message more I guess more understanding or example of your message you push out. You know, that's why it's good to practice what you preach. I know a lot of times it just depends. It's a situational thing, but I would always say practice what you preach. You can't sit there and keep. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend you smoking it, and then they got a whole, cigarette in your mouth. Talking about I don't recommend smoking. It's crazy stuff. Like people is like, what the heck? Sound crazy. But yeah, so that's the reason why. Like that's another example why y'all probably see me in some crazy rooms or stuff that probably don't think nowhere near like me and stuff. But it's just also I just want, like I said, I go in different panels and stuff just to put a different perspective. I already know I'll probably get outnumbered or whatever, but somebody that everybody don't agree with everybody. So somebody in them rooms that probably understand me, they might check me out. No matter what they pay me as. So I done got called a massage. I didn't even know that. That was my first time. I went to a Pander's live and I come back and I'm a misogynist. I'm like, dang. I was like, dang. So if I don't if I don't pander, if I don't talk like you, I'm a misogynist. And then but I take up for everybody. I've never seen that. That's that word they throw out. We need to make that a word of the week. Oh man, I just ain't the type. I don't kiss butt on neither ends. I don't care what the situation is. Wrong is wrong and right is right. That's why I got the second question like that. Uh, about dang, I thought I put that up there though. I should have made that another question though. Where they say men got to hold men accountable and women got to hold. Oh no, I'm all the way. I'm a humans hold humans accountable. That's how we can get better in this world. I said people be limiting their own capabilities and stuff. And then they want to counter, well, you don't know the experience of what a woman is. You're not a woman. You're not like, bro, that's you because you lack understanding. If you're an observant person, I think even though we different, we still here to understand one another. So it's like saying that you might as well never date again because you'll never understand a woman. That's crazy. Just because I'm not one, I know what a cat is about. I'm not a cat. I'm not dating no cat either. I know what a lion is about. I know enough. It's key things you got to know. They go to detailish things, but the detailish things only matter for the person you with. Because even your detailed thing, well, I know. Oh, just like I think I was talking about a marriage, right? I think we was talking about marriage or kids, right? You only know about your kids and your marriage. Your stuff don't take up for the rest of everybody that's married or have kids. So if we talk about detailish things, just like when we talk about men and women, well, you'll never know what a period is. And, she'll never know what a blue balls is, but she still understand. You can still got the ability to understand how some men think and how some women think. Even men sometimes don't understand other men, and women don't understand other women. So make some of this stuff make sense. Like people be wanting to fight on fight an argument so bad, and at the end of the day, we all humans. That's what I'm getting to. If you got a brain to sit there, a non-limited brain, because I see people limit themselves. They limit themselves by saying, "This is how I am," even the signs and stuff. Well, that's my character or something like that. I know that's all. That's the way I think, or I don't know, whatever. That's what I'm saying. You limit yourself. I can't listen to you because you're younger than me. Different things like that. Like, bro, you doing this to your own self. You choose to I expand my. I feel like I can learn from everybody and everything. And I've been observing a lot of situations. That's why I'm not on here like a lot of other people that went through the things they went through. I've been learning from other people that go to jail, so I'm like, what to do to not get to jail. I've been learning from people that you know that have kids. I don't have kids. You know what I'm saying? I see how things go if you choose wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have that. I learned from that. I learned from, I don't have to go on these streets to realize that things can happen. Like people be hearing about, and what I'm saying, people hear about these things and still choose to go with it just to see, okay, I might can do it from a different angle. All these things we done got taught when we was younger, for the most part. And then we make an excuse and get mad at the world when we get older. You see what I'm saying? You can't get mad when mama and daddy had warned you when you was younger that not to mess with this person, and then you let this person mess your life up, and now you want to get mad at the world and blame the whole. You know what I'm saying? That don't make no sense. At the end of the day, a lot of times we was warned. Of course, we can use I was young and dumb or whatever. We can use that, right? But dang, still admit that you made that choice and you have heard it before. You just was being oblivious to the situation. That's your fault. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm big on an accountability thing. That's why I call this accountability room. Hold up, I forgot when I start up, it be a wrap. I done forgot about it. That's y'all fault. Y'all took forever to come in, so y'all made me start talking.
Hi.
What's the deal, man? Welcome to the live.
I have something I want to say.
What you got?
This first one, what is a real man, woman? Is it subjective or objective, and who is it determined by? I do think it's entirely subjective, for starters, but for me, anybody to be considered a real man or woman, simply if you identify as a man or woman, you are a real man or woman.
Right,
Sure, that's subjective, but everything is subjective. So,
right. Exactly.
oh, okay.
And
Then
even that, who used the term real man or woman? You know what I'm saying? I mean, what's a fake one then if that's the case?
it's because
Never heard of that.
it's because we're using like societal traits that are often associated with like masculinity and femininity that people like if you are a man that isn't outwardly aggressive, you are therefore like not a real man. I think that's odd
Oh, well.
and like a
It's a
weird thing to
feelings based
push.
thing.
Exactly. So it is entirely subjective, but I don't think
Mm.
subjectivity is bad because everything is subjective.
For the most part, most things in this world are subjective. It is, but a lot of people like to stand like 10 toes on situations like, well, if it ain't the way I have it, it ain't real. It's fake. It's because my situation is objective. Everybody else's, if you don't believe the same way, you must be lost or you must be, I don't know. People be standing 10 toes on stuff they really don't know.
Exactly. And like if it works for you, I love it, but you cannot expect other people to live their lives based on how you want them to.
Right.
It's a weird
Right.
expectation to hold for people.
Mm-hmm. Right. People they think the world revolves around them and their ideas and mentality and stuff.
And we can even use like religion as like a great example. Like
What's
typically
good,
like when
Keenan?
you see like Christians, right? And they'll, condemn somebody's behavior as being like not of God. Well, of
Mm-hmm.
course, because that person might not believe in God. What's the issue? You're allowed to believe in God, that's fine, but you cannot expect other people to live their lives biblically if they don't follow the Bible.
True. I'm saying.
That's another.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong part they do about that. You can't do that. Condemn somebody because they don't believe the same way. You just you give your message. Even that says it in the Bible. You give your message, they not receptive of it, and go away, walk away. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is.
But that's
What
a
you saying,
thing.
right?
That's the thing
What's up, my
too.
brother?
What's up? How you doing? I ain't speak to you in a minute.
Break.
But thing about that too with the Bible, just because somebody is doing things like that's not by the Bible doesn't mean that they don't believe in God. They may believe it in a different type of way. So like they
True.
live their life that way. So it's like just
Right.
because you're a Christian doesn't mean I have to be a Christian to believe in God. That doesn't make sense.
True.
We all can
Hmm.
believe in God and do our own thing in a different way. And so you can't say, oh, you don't believe in God, or oh, you're not gonna make it to heaven. For one, you don't have the power to say I'm not going to heaven because you didn't create the heaven. You wasn't the one who sat there for infinity years and freaking created heaven. So there's no, you get no say so in that. Just because
Mm-hmm.
the Bible doesn't give you the power to tell me where I can go and where I can't go.
Right.
So it's like,
Exactly.
and even in the Bible, like those words, those things are man made. People have to take certain things out for people to believe in one thing and to push for an agenda. Is basically called divide and conquer, and that's what they've been doing for millennia. They've been doing that since we were even put on this earth. So it's like, why would we believe a man-made book when we can literally we dream, we go to different freaking dimensions and realities based upon what we do in our sleep, and we just do nothing. So it's like, okay, what I believe doesn't matter to you. It's okay. That's cool. Because you
Yeah.
can't tell me what I can believe and what I can't believe. I saw this and that's what I saw. You can't make me unsee it because I already seen it already. Right? So it's like nobody has the power to say, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that because that's everybody else's opinion.
Yeah. I think the only pushback I got on that, because you said a man-made book. I think everything we do is man-made and the stuff we even come up with. I would say that we do have a choice to believe in things or not, but it's just for our own safety, right? Because it's like a lot of people make mistakes. That's why a lot of people either push out certain messages because of what they might have experienced, and some people just put it in a book or something like that, just to let people know, okay, poison is not right, or uh, doing these things or jotting things down so the next person don't make a mistake. So I think even if it's man made or not, I think it's basically like to let people know, and it's as I say, it's a choice because some people can believe that poison is not poison. You know what I'm saying? They be like, all right, I ain't never heard of it, and go experience it themselves. So I think it is a help in that they have, I guess, man-made books just to learn from it and try to live and try to basically do the best with your life you can while you got it or something like that, so you don't make the same mistakes that everybody else do.
I
That's how I look
mean,
at it. Even with the Black History books and all that stuff too. So all that stuff man-made, but everybody just choose to look at it. Google is man-made. We start doing research on that too.
right, but I think the difference is we are talking about an omnipresent being. So I feel like there should be more evidence for this being than like words that were written by human beings. A lot of the evidence, right, are things that are non-accessible, meaning that these claims cannot be verified and we kind of just have to take their word for it. I feel like if we're talking about a deity that has the ability to do any and everything, we should have more evidence than like a book
Yeah,
that's been passed down from generation to generation to
yeah.
generation and thus updated from generation to generation to generation.
I feel you. I think life itself is a mystery, so we will really never know the truth though. So that's why it's always going to be off some type of belief,
And that's
a
why I
book or
always
not.
advocate, at least in my practice, I'm a Satanist, by the way. One of our biggest kind of, objectives is personal freedom, right? Practice whatever you want to practice as long as what you're practicing isn't innately harming or oppressing other people. I don't hate religious people. I just think personally, like
Had a
I
bad
have a
experience from it. I could tell though.
I mean, a little, but most of my contentions come straight from, the book itself, the deity.
Mm,
I
okay.
believe that some of the actions that were performed by this deity, like in this book, are immoral.
Oh, so you read another book and you said you believe that one?
No, I don't subscribe to any like text or anything like that.
Okay, I got you.
So, Yeah, I mean, personally, I have my own personal contentions with this deity, but I'm not going to stop anybody else from practicing. It's none of my business. And I think if more people opted to mind their own business, we'd be in a way better place. Why are we concerned that a guy wants to paint his nails? Let him paint his nails. You just don't paint your nails. You know what I mean? It's not hurting anybody. Move on.
True.
How does
I
Satan
think it's called
provide the
human nature, though.
precondition
That's just
for?
human nature.
Exactly my point. And to respond to what Aldolfo, I don't know if that's how you pronounce your name. You said, how do you know Satan exists? Let me ask you this. How do we know Satan is the actual bad person? And it was just not. That's just what was said in a Bible, because they said, "Oh yeah, he's bad. We're gonna just blame everything on him." How do we know that he's the person that's misunderstood and not the one who was trying to fix everything? How do we
Thank
know
you
that?
for saying that because that's one of like the biggest things that we like he wouldn't have been that bad. Right? That's our philosophy. He like really like when you look at the text it's not that bad his actions. It's it's because we're when you're reading the Bible obviously these are like a pile of stories, written by people inspired by the word of God. You're only getting one perspective. When you take a seat back and you start seeing things from the antagonist's point of view, that being like Satan, non believers, that kind of stuff, you will start to find answers to questions, moral questions that you would have had just being a Christian. Like this idea of like giving people knowledge and that being one of the world's greatest sins. Why is giving them knowledge bad? Why was that action in that instance evil, especially when you could have prevented that action? You watched it happen, you allowed it to happen, and then you punished them for doing the thing that you knew that they were going to do. That's evil.
Who says that though? Who get to determine what's evil or not?
Well, I mean, well, God put out a standard, did he not? God laid out an objective moral standard that people should follow.
So
Thou shalt not
humans can
kill.
call the creator evil, and he can't call it.
I
And,
mean, the
and the creator look at us as evil.
I mean, the
See,
the
that's what
You
I.
creator
think you innocent?
the creator is a hypocrite. That's my point. Why would you create a
How you
moral
know that?
listen, why would you create a moral standard for humans to abide by and then you do not follow your own moral standard? One of
Because we not him or
so
the
it's a
creator.
so if I build a hotel, right? I build a hotel, I allow people to stay in my hotel. The only rule is they have to call me my queen every time I enter the room. If you refuse, right, to call me my with my terms, right? You refuse to address me as your queen every single time I step in the room. I'm just gonna take you out to the back and pew pew you, right? And that's okay because I built the hotel. It's mine.
Right. You got to follow the rules of who house you in, right?
Even if the rules are
Who say you got
unreasonable.
some say so? If you the one that's in you, that's his house, they
So
house.
it's okay for this person to be a hypocrite and not abide by the moral standard that he
Who
set
said
for
it's a
other
hypocrite?
people.
Maybe that's the way that person want the
I
life
mean
to
that
be.
that is the
Who?
definition.
How can a human judge, especially if a person created us, and we gonna judge our creator about how they want our life to go?
But that's what I was trying to basically get at, right? How do we know anything? And we're just not believing in anything that anybody just says to us, right? It's like, how are we gonna get information that we need?
If that's the case, we have no right to call somebody a hypocrite. Then, if you saying that,
Yeah, I mean, I truly believe everybody's a hypocrite. That's
I feel you to a certain extent. Yeah, I get you though. I get you, but that's more of a like a action right behind something being said or something like that. Because I believe everybody try to change. So all of us did something, but we trying to change, so we can't really say. I think hypocrite is like right after, like I was mentioning earlier about smoking a cigarette and then saying that you shouldn't smoke instantly. But if you recover from cigarette and then you change and say don't do it, you experienced it and teaching to learn a learning lesson.
Right.
That's what.
But
So it
like
can't be a hypocrite
but
because you
like
learn from it.
but like God, for example, right? God laid out the moral standard, right? 10 commandments, right?
For
Things
us,
that
not for him.
so why is he not allowed to follow these rules? Why is he allowed like
Why would he follow? That don't make sense. That don't make sense at all.
So God laid out the rule.
Why we looking at him
He
like if
does
we was
not
talking about God
listen.
or a creator?
God does
Why we
not
looking
want
at him
these
like that?
things, right? God does not want people to murder. God does not want people to
He
commit
don't.
adultery. God does not want people to lie. God does not want people to do this, that, and the third.
Right.
And then
Yeah.
God turns around and then does those things. Yeah,
He
you're a
told us
hypocrite.
what we shouldn't do. He didn't say what he not
So
gonna do.
it's
'Cause I'm pretty
okay.
sure
So it's
if this
okay.
is our creative world, if
So
we put
it's
it that way,
okay
right?
that God killed millions of people
Is you
because
hearing
he's
anything? Or
God.
you sound like you got your mind made up, so I probably ain't gonna do this
Wait,
argument then.
no. I'm just. It's a question.
Yeah, you got it.
Why is it okay for God to kill millions of people?
You got it. You got it. You got it. You got your mind made up, so you got it. Whatever.
How
I ain't
does
gonna even talk
God
about it.
lie?
We can get back on the topic then. 'Cause yeah, I ain't trying to shift it all. Everybody got their mind made up, so it is what it is. Um, um.
It's called
So you already
justice.
did the first one though. So how you feel about the second topic then? What's the difference? Because I see people mix that up too, holding accountable and making accountable.
Making accountability. I don't think I understand what that's trying to. Like I understand
I'm
holding
being
some.
funny with that
Well, then you tell me, because I've never heard that like term being used. I'll be real.
because every time I hear the reason why I say that, every time I hear somebody say, we say holding somebody accountable,
Right.
and every time when you say that, we say that, then somebody be like, well, you can't make nobody be accountable or something like that. But I'm like, did you just hear your words just change? It's you said holding accountable, and then somebody said making accountable. I don't think no, it's them two different words, holding and making.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I
I,
think it's just like when you say holding to somebody to their word. That's how I had to understand what holding accountable is. When you hold somebody to their word, we use that a lot, right? Yeah. So I can't make somebody that word. I can't make them be their word, but I can hold them to their word. I mean, you
right.
told me that you was gonna lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you keeping up with it. That's me. That's another form of me holding them to their word. You see what I'm saying? Especially when it's somebody close to you, we hold people to their word. You say you a man of your word, but I'm gonna hold you to it. You know, stuff like that. What happened to the why her stuff didn't come in?
Speak.
Everybody stuff messing up.
Well, mine's not. What the heck?
Yeah. So must she get a phone call or something? She must got a phone call.
You good advice? Hold on, Kev. Let me see something real quick.
Make sure my page is straight. My stuff good?
Advice?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. There you go. You made it.
Okay, hold on. I gotta, just in case. Okay, so I normally don't stand with like a lot of women on a lot of these topics anyway, but let me see. Your first question is what's the real man or woman? Is it
Yeah.
subjective or objective? And who determines that? So I think your biology just determines, what's a man or a woman, whether, you grew up as like a female, identified with like female societal expectations, like you played into it, right? Like getting dressed up or whatever the case may be for a woman, or a female going into womanhood. I can't speak on what a real man is because I honestly just kind of play my role and listen to whatever men feel like being a man is. That to me is out of my realm. So when my husband says something about like men as a whole, like, oh, don't do this because men, yada, 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 I just listen to that and assume that what he's saying must be true because I don't talk to men enough to know.
Hey, you know what? Do
So
you know what? You know what lions are, or in like different plants? You know what those are? You know about them?
like, you mean like the role?
No, do you actually? I mean, do you understand what plants do and lions?
Plants, like plants.
A flower, a rose, a
Okay.
rose.
Oh yeah. I believe in the roles. Yeah,
The
I think that men have their
no, I
own.
said a rose. I should have said that. I thought about that. I was talking about a red rose, like a plant. I mean, like a
Oh.
flower or something like that. But something like that, right? Uh, uh,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just
The
saying.
woman
I'm trying
bears
to get
fruit.
somewhere
The
with that one
female
though.
plant bears fruit.
Yeah. So you
Yeah,
understand it, what it plan do.
yes, I think so, but I feel like you could elaborate more and give me more insight on that.
And a lion too, right? I was just saying it for a reason though. I'm saying you ain't have to be a plant or a lion to understand what it is. That's what I'm saying.
Oh
I hear
yeah, no, no.
a lot of people say that. I think we are as a humans. We're built to understand one another, even if we think different. Because even men think different from men, and women think
Yes,
different from women. So I
I
never got
agree with
why a
that.
lot of people and a lot of people say that though. I'm not a man, so I'm not a man, so I'm not gonna ever understand a man, or I'm not a woman, I ain't gonna understand a woman. But I think, it's just observation. It's simple observation. Just like
So,
I
so,
wouldn't truly, huh? Go ahead.
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, you go ahead. You go ahead.
So I think that there's a kind of like a discrepancy on wording, right? So like you don't necessarily have to understand something, right? But this is where respect comes in. So if you don't understand, the differences of your partner as far as like how they think as a man or how they think as a woman, you're still supposed to show respect to that partner, like I don't understand why men get mad about certain things, but I don't punish them for it whenever they do get mad. I just kind of accept that that might be, within their nature to kind of come off more coarse. I know that women are, in fact, more gentle and they come from a place of emotion a lot of the time. And I agree that men shouldn't really hold women hostage for that flaw in their nature. I think it's well,
I
I
feel
don't
you on
actually
that.
think a lot of men do. I think a lot of men do understand that women come from a place of emotion, and men don't understand that women think men do a bad job at explaining where they come from, right? Because men are very logical. They don't want the emotion. They just want
Oh,
to
so
know
you
that you're
do know about
committed.
man. There you go. See, I knew it. You said something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I get it. Like I get it. But I'm not gonna pretend to be able to really talk about it. Like I could never,
You gotta talk
for a
about what you
woman
know,
speak for a
what
man.
you observe. You know what I'm saying? I think even if you was to go to detailist things, it's not everything you know about a woman either, or different women. If we was talking about detailist, I think it's some basis that we know about one another, like every other thing. We're never gonna truly know what another person is. We all different humans, so that's one thing.
Right.
Even just because you're a woman, that don't mean you know all women, and just because I'm a man, that don't mean I know all men. That's what I'm getting to. I think how we always counter each other, we always go to the deep details, and then I be just thinking about even with the deep details, we'll never know. All we gonna know is who we deal with. That's all we gonna know. We gonna know
Right.
our children, and I
A lot
mean
of
my children
people
is
speak
everybody
in
else's children. You see what I'm
generalizations.
saying?
Yeah, a lot of people speak in generalizations, because when you're in a relationship, it's really easy to look at, everything split. And I don't mean like everything, like as far as relationship goes. I mean just looking at people in general. It's very
Mhm.
easy to make comparisons to find things that are relatable to people when you just split it like a 50-50. The
Right.
very first difference that we observe is just you're a man, I'm a woman. That's the very first thing that we see when we're dating. So it's easier to group everything that is separated by men and women. Now, when you
Hmm.
start adding all the other variables in, like, well, how much experience do you have in this field, in this field, in this field? That's when you start coming up with different
Yeah.
ratios of how that relationship does their little give and take, right? So, like,
Yeah.
some couples might believe in 50-50 and that might work for them. As long as the relationship comes out to 100, who the fuck cares how you split it? Pardon my
Facts.
French, but like me and my husband, I think me and my husband are more like 75-15, to be honest. I think my husband probably financially he gives 75, but
Okay.
15 my emotional state and my willingness to be able to control my emotions so he can work that much to him is a big bonus, right? Because
And
I'm
then
not
look
bothering
on
my
the counter
man.
end, you probably the way the energy you put in the family. Well, I ain't gonna say all over.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
could
no,
say
it is
you
like
probably
that.
do
It is
75
exactly
on
how you
that,
were
and he
describing
do
it.
50.
I just listen to my husband.
Hmm.
I just take
Yeah,
care of the
but I'm
house.
pretty sure you do a good contribution because it's all about what's it called, reciprocation. So it's the reason why
Yes.
it's your husband. You know what I'm saying? He took you in because you bringing value to the family. So I'm pretty sure the same amount. It ain't all about money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't make him the whole entire thing because he bringing money to the house. But everybody
Right.
play
And
their
and
part.
and I don't even use my husband's finances. I still use my own. However, what my husband doesn't do is he doesn't ask me for. I mean, there was a point where he did, you know, But now we've gotten to a point where he's really trying to just not ask me for money. And that's been a nice, change to see, because I didn't mind helping. But now he's in a much better place, and I've got to see him, grow as a man, because in the beginning, he was frustrated and lashing out because he wasn't at a spot where he wanted to be. And in order, like, my husband works out of state. So, you know,
I got a phone call.
I think she did too. Um, that's crazy. That's crazy that she said that because not a lot of women will actually do that. Like a lot of women will like get pissed off if a man was to ask her for money and whatever, and it's like that's wild that she came out and she admitted that. You know? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, cool. Take your time. We'll still be here. So, yeah, like I was like, a lot of women will literally lose their fucking brain cells, especially in this generation now. If you even ask a woman for $30, you go into her group chat, she about to talk about you with all her friends and all of that, and it's like, oh, this nigga broke this and that, whatever. And I don't understand it. Like, I don't understand why women can't just, you know what I'm saying, do what us men do sometimes. So, like, why can't you compromise with us when we compromised and gave you something from us? And then it's not like, oh,
But look,
it's about you on me or anything. It's not nothing like that because we will literally pay you it back tenfold if you just work with us that one time. And it's like they don't care about that at all. They don't care about helping. They just want to help themselves nowadays. So it's like, dang, that's crazy. So I understand where she's coming from with that. That really hit me like a train when she said that. So that's
mm-hmm.
crazy.
Yeah. But like I said, that's the reason why. That's why I said I know she have to be doing something right for it. Because ain't no man just gonna sit there and be taking over the whole house with his finances, and the woman ain't doing nothing on her end. So I'm pretty sure she
Yeah,
have her fair share in it.
she most
It ain't
definitely.
always about finances to make a whole relationship. I think with a mentality of thinking that finances make a relationship, I think it's already it's doomed already. I mean, you doing stuff that you're not comfortable with, and just to make it happen because you're in survival mode while you're in a relationship. I think everybody should have something to offer on both ends.
You know what's crazy about when I said what I said about if a man was to ask a woman for $30 and then she gonna start, and nowadays in this society she literally agreed with me. Look in the comments, she said and is. So that means you're basically gonna go in her group chat, you're gonna be called broke behind your back, you don't even know, and it's like then you won't even find out until it's already too late. She just
Hmm.
literally agreed with what I said and is, and then she put the laughing emoji, signifying that yeah, we gonna do that.
Hmm.
So it's like that's crazy, bro. You work together. Conversation is important.
This thing ain't even let me comment back. That's weird.
But that's the craziest thing, right? Because a lot of people just want just the aspect of it, the thought of it. You feel me? They don't really want it for real. Because if they wanted it for real, they would go head on with it. You feel me? And not have no regrets about it. Nowadays, you got regrets about everything
What's good, Small?
in a relationship. Everything is everything. I'm telling you,
Mm-hmm.
women. I don't know how we got to this point of where everything is just bad now, but it literally is literally trash. Some men build themselves up instead of trying to be with a woman in poverty. And you want to know why? See, look, this is what I can truly say though, right? Is women they're more focused on the today, but a man, any man you meet, unless that man is like he really lazy and don't really want to do nothing at all. Any any man besides that, will literally be working on his future, whether he is with a woman or not. And if that woman can't, work with that, then that man is gonna leave completely because he's trying to build a life for himself in her, but she's steady tripping over, oh, you're not doing this or you're not doing that. Whole time you're out and you're working trying to build a better future for the both of y'all. You feel me? So it's like, because I'm that same way too, because I'm focused on trying to set my future up and have everything to where I don't have to worry about anything, right? And then it's like sometimes I get complaints about, oh, you don't do this or you're not paying attention to me, and it's like, yo, I'm I'm doing what we need to do. I'm doing what I gotta do so we can have a better future and we don't have to worry about nothing. Instead of us, doing all of this, and it's like a man don't want to hear that complaining, okay? A man more so want to hear peace, where he can get up, he can work, he can come back home, and then he can do whatever he do in a trade before he started looking for a wife.
I want to hear your end though. What made you stand out from other women to choose you for him to build himself up to connect with you? What made you different from other women,
Hold on,
or whatever he told you?
I need her to come up. I'm not gonna lie. How many
Yeah, I
followers?
did want her to come up. Let me see. Hold up. Does she got no followers?
Oh, okay. She must
Oh
have.
yeah, I'm gonna send you up. If you able to come up, you can accept the invite. Everybody else that want to come, y'all come up. We can talk about the topic or whatever.
There are so many
Before this y'all start up, because I know the box is gonna fill up later.
needs at once. That's a fact. A hardworking man ain't gonna want to come home and entangle in the sheets or whatever all the time. But like some men, they don't even care about doing that at all whatsoever. They just want to focus on something that is really important to them. That's gonna have their legacy and in the grasp. Like they can hold their legacy up. You know what I'm saying? And they're gonna fight for it. No matter what they have to lose, they're gonna lose it to uphold that legacy that they built because they worked so hard on it.
All right, for sure, for sure.
So, that right there, I can literally say that's what I'm like because yeah, we can do it, but then at the same time too, I don't really care if we do it or not because I can, what I'm saying, I can basically get it anywhere. It's just I'm really focused on building my future up and making sure that me and my family is straight, so we don't have to we don't have a worry in the world. You feel me? So it's like that's what I more so lean towards. You know what I'm saying? Like I could get money, whatever. If money is money, okay, cool. We put value to it, okay, whatever. Spend it all. I don't care. But it's coming to a point where right now I'm starting to save up more because for one, I want to get my own space. That's for one. Two, you know what I'm saying? I just really want my dreams to come true, as in being a actual speaker, a motivational speaker, a writer, actor, and a director. You know what I'm saying? Those are my dreams. And I also want to be a carpenter, you know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm putting these things all in place, and that's what I want to focus on right now, you know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to always have my relationships. I'm going to have that. That's not going nowhere. Okay, cool. So as long as I can, you know what I'm saying, work on that, then I'm fine. Nobody will have to worry about anything, right? We connected. We connected mentally. Okay. Both wanted a healthy relationship. Yeah, and and with that healthy relationships, sometimes you're gonna have to go through the hardest things that you don't even want to go through. Solely so you can get to that point. Do you have a plan to get your goals? Yes, I'm achieving them now. While I'm right here on this live right now, I'm achieving my goals. I really am. Probably not. But
Right, Frozen, come up and tell us about it, man. Go ahead, taste some of these. You know what I'm saying? You might help somebody. You know, that's why I asked all that question about what made y'all connect. I heard she said something about her um beliefs, and we connected mentally. So it's something they must have
Hello.
had some type of. What's up? Welcome to the live.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice to meet you both.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Hey, before you go, real quick, I'm gonna do a little commercial break. Real
can I
quick, if y'all
can I
can, give me to
can I
what's
kick
it? What's
can I kick this person because this person is being very disrespectful.
hold up? You must. Oh dang, I ain't see that. Right.
Somebody
There you
named you.
go. Real quick, if y'all can, share it about 10 people if y'all can. If y'all got some people that that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you want to say. If they disagree, agree, or trying to learn, that's share it to them. They might actually be interested in the live. Um, Also, you could tap. You can even tap in the box too. If you want to. Try to give me the um 10K. We can do that. It's 9 people in here, and I think that's everything. Hashtag FYP that helped me get it on stretching that the FYP page too. But you can go ahead, Frozen.
Um, I I hear so many people talking so negative between men and women, but I really believe that if you can both come down to that moment and just don't speak, just listen to each other, you can really find an amazing. I can't speak for a woman. I think I'm great, but but I'm speaking towards men. You can really find a great man if you can understand and take a moment just to listen and figure out what his needs are and what his wants are. And you can just develop something so beautiful and so great with them. Yeah, you're going to have hard times. What the hell? Who said that the world was easy? Who said life was going to be easy? It's hard. It's hard every day sometimes. You just got to find the good times and enjoy those moments and love that man. Give that man the love that he needs. He needs to know that he's loved. He needs to feel you. He needs to feel your touch. He needs to feel your kiss. He needs to feel your praise. I do all those things for my husband. There's not a day that I don't talk about him and how great he is. And what's great about him is he's humble. He never says, "Oh, yeah, I'm a great man." Because, I do what I can for you. What? Humble man. And he gets embarrassed when I talk about him and how great he is. But he can't be great if I'm not there
Bruh.
giving him support. I can't be great without him giving me what I need. And he does. Like, he figured it out. What was my love language? And he made it happen as I did for him. So if we'd stop, making passing judgments on other people when we first meet them, take a moment, get to know them. So they didn't say something you liked. So what? People say what we don't like all the time.
Thanks.
Just stop for a second, listen. Sorry, I didn't mean to ramble on.
Oh no, you hitting it right there. You was over there. Sound like you was just starting. You feel me? I feel you on that. People be
It's the same
doing
thing with
judgments too
women,
fast.
right?
I understand we all make judgments off protection, but sometimes we gotta,
Yeah.
yeah, go past a couple words if we ain't like it and stuff and try to actually understand the person we talking to. You can't understand a person off of a couple of things they say.
Bada bing. The same thing for women. And I mean, if we can both work each other and about giving money to your partner, what? I'll empty out the bank account and give it to my partner. And
No.
I don't even want it back. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the kind of man he is, you know? And he would do the same for me. And a lot of people have, separate joint accounts or separate accounts, whatever. We have one account because we trust each other and we're in it for the long time. We're not in it for just tomorrow. And that's what you got to think about your relationships. As great as I talk about him, we've had our moments, we've had our bad times, but I don't hold that against him. I just look at him and go, dang, I could have done that differently. No, like, what was I thinking?
You sound like you have it all figured out, even though we don't have anything figured out for real. Like you sound like you have truly mastered having a man and abiding by the things that y'all want in your lives. You know, that's really comforting to know that we have women like that in this lifetime.
And trust me, I don't know it all. I'm still learning my husband, still today, you know. And sometimes he says something that makes me want to jump out of bed and grab him by the throat. Yeah, hell yeah, it happens. But I don't do that. I just kind of say, oh, you know, I need to think about what just happened and maybe change it. And then I'll go back to him and be like, my bad. I'm sorry. How can we make this better?
1 second.
You can continue.
I mean, where did we forget love? Where did we forget passion? Trust. Yes, there's a lot of people out there you can't trust. But if you gave them the benefit of the doubt, you gave them that moment, you never ever know. They could turn around being the most amazing person in the world. I think I'm out of breath now, but
Um, you good. I like the fact that you came up here and expressed like how y'all, you know what I'm saying, y'all work through it and everything. Cause even then I'm young. I'm 23. I'm about to be 24 this year. Um, it's glad because I have all these people who's older than me and in different situations that I'm not in that I could take notes from and I can actually learn from. So it's like it's all a great experience to, you know what I'm saying, to have and to learn always. That's how I want to be. I always want to learn, even if it's somebody from somebody younger than me, older than me, or even the same age as me, and they have a different view on everything. It's always good for me to, you know, be around and actually learn something from y'all. So I appreciate you coming up here and, you know, speaking about what you know what I'm saying, how you power through it and what gives you the confidence to do what you do every single day.
he's very the way he was raised was very passionate, and you know, like, he don't even let me throw the garbage out. Like, that's, he calls it the man's duty. And I asked him, and I said, baby, like, what's the big deal for me to throw out the garbage? And he goes, you take the garbage out, the next door neighbor sees you and then starts talking to you, and then a relationship begins. I said, whoa, just hold up a second, what did you just say?
I
He
mean, yeah,
goes, you're my woman. No one's gonna help you with the garbage. I'll take the garbage out.
yeah, and soon you guys have kids. Maybe it will be soon. I don't know, but he's gonna teach his kids the same way. You know what I'm saying? The female in that family is not gonna touch that garbage. It's gonna be the boys that do that. You know? So yeah, that's basically just how we are raised. We were raised on that.
Yeah, and he just,
Hey, I heard you say something though. To kind of get back on the topic a little bit. If a would if a man made you take out the if a man made you take out the garbage, would he be considered a real man?
that shouldn't matter.
Good answer. Try to get
That
you a
should
little bit.
not matter.
I
He's
want
a
to see who
man
goes.
all day long.
I know some people are like, that's not a real man. He made a woman take out the garbage. Because a real man. Boy, I gotta figure this thing out, man. What's a real man and what is a real woman? It's in quotation for a reason, you know what I'm saying? And even though people that keep using, well, it's biology, okay. So I think it's kind of obvious I ain't talking about the biology one. Because even that, what's a fake one then? If that's the case, that's going to be my counter with that for people that's going to use the biology one. Well, the real man is that and the real woman is that. They're just a man and a woman. Bro got jokes.
You love who you love.
Said you love who you love. What up? I'll be back in 30 minutes. Okay, get that good word, my brother. There you go. Bruh, what's the deal? She in the building, J. Lil.
Came to answer your question while I'm
Mm-hmm.
cooking my man some food. Um,
Mm-mm.
what's a real man or woman? That is someone who is emotionally, spiritually, financially intelligent. That's a real man or a real woman.
Mm.
Someone who can handle every day and be emotionally sound in their decisions and in their thoughts.
Okay.
You
That's
further
my answer.
that?
Interesting.
Wow.
So, all right. So the ones that don't do it, they fake.
Um, I'm not going to say that they're fake. They're just not as adult. They're not in their full they're not in their full capacity because they may and I'm not even going to say they're not adult. I'm going to say they may not understand what their
Okay.
full capacity looks like um in a situation. But what we have a problem with in society is what works for one doesn't work for everybody.
Facts.
It's not that way, and that's why I tell people all the time when I hear people say, raise your children to be husbands, raise your daughters to be wives. No one can raise anybody to be a husband or a wife. I can raise you and to be a woman or a young man, but I can't raise you to be anybody's husband or wife because what your future spouse may have or be may not be what I know and may not even be my cup of tea.
Mm-hmm.
My husband is my cup of tea. My daughter's future husbands may be 99,000 ways opposite of their father. Doesn't mean that my husband is necessarily right. He's right for me. He didn't marry my daughters. He's their dad. So whatever they date, short of being abusive, don't put your hands on my child, don't put your hands on your spouse, but short of being abusive and mistreating my children, I can't tell my daughters how to be anybody's wife because their husbands won't be mine. And I think that's where we get lost in this conversation is trying to make our daughters and our sons have somebody that's like us, and that's just not reality. It doesn't work that way.
True.
Caleb, I have a question. Does it just make a man or a woman who's not like emotional or spiritual or financially stable? Doesn't that just make them like ignorant and not like real?
I think she kind of said that a little bit. Yeah, but you use the word ignorant, so I'll get you on that.
Yeah,
It means that they haven't reached the peakness of their adulthood. That's what it means, and they may not ever reach it because they may not ever become emotionally, financially, or spiritually sound.
Mm.
We have this idea that people in big bodies are adults. You have children that are in big bodies. You have children that are in what we call adult bodies that are really kids.
True.
So we can an adult is one thing. A man or a woman is something else. It's your actions. It's how you carry yourself. It's the things that you do. Are you spiritually sound? Can you carry if you opt to have a family, can you carry your family? Can you lead your family? Can your wife lead her children? It's what it really boils down to.
Mm.
okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah, I mean, being real and to be honest, It's like, Kev, the next portion of the question is it subjective or objective? It's subjective. It's subjective to the person that's in the situation. Because what's real to Kev may not be real to me. What's real to you may not be real to me. But it doesn't make it any less real because it's yours. So it's just all in what you deem as real. What is real to you?
Mm-hmm.
Because you may decide that, you don't need a woman who can cook. You may want a wife that doesn't know how to cook. She may be great at 99 other things, but cooking may not be her forte. Guess what?
Right.
You gonna love her any less because she can't cook? No.
Or that make her less of a woman. You feel me?
Does that make her less of a woman because she can't cook? No.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like that argument when we have the argument about what a real woman is in that, the T community versus the biological
Oh,
community.
whoa. That's another whole
That's an
right.
argument within itself. Biologically, we all know that biologically is what deems a woman, right? And it's not if you have the reproductive system, because not all women can reproduce children. However, they're built to reproduce. They just have something that isn't functioning properly.
Mm-hmm.
Difference. But we get
Mm-hmm.
into this argument of, oh, well, all biological women can't have babies. Doesn't mean that they're not built to have them. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean that they're not built. It just means that their system at that moment in time is not functioning properly. But it does not change the fact that they are biological women. So what are we arguing?
Okay.
I just, you know what I'm saying? I just like to get different takes on.
Oh no, you're fine,
Okay.
sweetie. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just answering your questions. There's
Oh
no
no, I appreciate it.
yeah,
I was
there's
just,
no right or wrong for me.
I like to ask questions and, get all the information out of it as I can, what I'm saying? Squeeze until it's empty so that I can have like a better learning experience further on in life so I can, always learn about new things and get a feel of it before I can say anything about anything, So
Mm-hmm. So, King Law, welcome to the live. What you got for us, man?
What was your question?
So, what's up? Welcome to the live, man.
Appreciate it,
What
man.
you got for us?
I
You
guess
can hit that first question if you want to, or did you have something on your mind?
yeah, I can hit the first question.
Alright.
What is a real man and a real woman? Is it subjective, objective? Who determines that? I think nature determines that. I think our life determines that as well. The choices we choose to make in them. A real man, that's really based on who you ask, subjective. But honestly, nature dictates what we do. You can only have the opportunities that everybody else pretty much have. The opportunity to make good or bad decisions, the opportunity to procreate or not, work, till the earth, grow. I think real men have to aspire to be a man, have to aspire to learn themselves and to be a productive part of just society, culture. A real woman, like I said, nature again. I think it's in the nurturing and the ability to procreate. That XX chromosome doing what it's supposed to do, making a woman softer, smaller, more valuable in different aspects.
I got a question then for that one. Because I hear a lot, and I had to think of this on my own too. I hear a lot of people say a lot of things is natural, and I feel like I feel like certain things is natural, like the way we handle our emotions or whatever, and all that, whatever. But I think for the most part, I think a lot of this stuff is, I think they nurtured or is taught to us. So, the reason why I say that is because it's the reason why, um, basically our parents try to teach us to be certain ways or something like that. Because if it was natural, right, I think, and nobody would have to teach it to you. I think we would just automatically just do, we're just fall into suit of what these things like. We shouldn't be able to get untaught what's natural. You know what I'm saying? If it's natural for me to be a strong man or something like that, or if it's natural for them to be a soft woman. You know, why do we have to teach these things? And then also, why is it? Why is it? And I know we see feminine men out here and masculine women and stuff like that, but it's based off of how they got brung around or their environment and stuff. So that's a form of like teaching and like a I guess constructing them. I'm trying to think of the word, but basically it's just how they condition themselves. That's a word right there.
Yeah, yeah, that's
So
the
like
word.
I think for the most part, I think the things we call natural, and that's just my observation. Like I said, I could be wrong,
Nah,
but my
I got
observation I see is most of it we got conditioned to be certain ways or taught.
so I'm gonna reply to that. The reason I say it's natural because that's the organic way. What you're talking about is the modern way. So I just had this conversation with a young lady the other day. I think that nature provides the blueprint and the base, but I think with technology, with development and things like that, that's where we defer. That's where we defer. I feel like excuse me, I got kids, so if I cut out it's just for a split second. um
That's natural.
so I'm gonna give you a little bit about me. I was raised without my father. Um and I would say that it made it harder because in a sense to be a modern man, to consider yourself just modern real man with today's society with things that's going on, you need the lessons from a man that's already been through it. But that's for the modern part of it. That's for knowing how to operate. Just like if you went to prison, they teaching you the ways of that area. But nature is giving you testosterone, which makes you want to be dominant, want to be a force to be reckoned with, want to stand up for yourself. Nature made your frame the way it needed to be to cater to you defending yourself. Your brain develops naturally. You don't have to go to school to learn hot is hot and cold is cold. Right is right and wrong is wrong. It's more of a natural feel. And I think that the modern aspect of it is just catering us to certain laws, certain community guidelines, certain things that's acceptable. But I think if we was left without TV, like the Amish or like some of these other remote villages in other parts of the world, we would get more of an understanding of what it really means to be in tune with yourself, in tune with nature, and developing off of the earth.
Mm. So if that's the case, then um, why do our even with all that, right? Because I think we get taught how to express our love. We get all this stuff is I don't know. Like I said, I think I'm on the other end. I think a lot of stuff is just conditions. We get conditioned too. Because I just look at it if it things that's like natural would be like the way our heart beat, and that you can I guess mess the natural flow based off how you eat and all that stuff or whatever. But otherwise, the heartbeat gonna naturally still beat. And then your blood still gonna naturally flow. All the other stuff like you can't really condition that to doing its job. Um, but for the
Atomic.
most part, it's like from a baby we get conditioned from that point. They tell we if it was like I said, if it was natural, like if it was natural for it to be good, then like our parents don't have to tell us no as a kid. Don't do that. Don't do this.
But
Do
but
this.
but
Do that. You
think
know what I'm
about
saying?
this.
Stuff like that.
But I want you
Um.
to think about this. What do you do? I mean, this is for everybody in this room, everybody in this live. I want you to really think about it. If you have a kid or if you ever seen someone with a young kid, what do? They do not parent that kid all the time. They leave that kid to devices, a television, a show, a phone, a tablet. And the reason that is because it's distracting. The reason it's distracting is because they are learning. Children learn from sight. People say that they learn from engagement. No, they learn from sight. That's why you can walk around a corner and see a little kid listening or peeking at their parents through a crack in the door. They learn from sight. So when we put them in front of TVs, we put them in front of modern technology, we put them in areas where they're learning from adults that's talking too loud or doing things, they are learning. Nature designed to handle flaws in us. So let's say I'm I gotta use the right terminology here. I'm a homosexual male, right? I will never be able to procreate. That's nature's design that my
Right.
flaw leaves. If a woman is into her own sex, that is nature's design, but nature's way of handling that design is she won't be able to procreate. The reason I say we have gotten away from the natural growth that we have, because we are dangerous, but I'm gonna challenge you. The most dangerous child really isn't dangerous. When your child is jumping off of the couch, they're building confidence. When your child is testing the limits of what they can do, they finding out what works and what don't. We developed that way. That's how we got to where we are today. Nature handles us, but when you are catered to the society, what the society wants you to do, now you have adoptions, you have artificial insemination, you have different things that cater to what people would like or what people feel is right, and not necessarily the natural order of things. Weakness is weeded out of every species in the world by natural process of elimination, whether it be eaten. Oh, I see that in the comments. Whether it be eaten, whether it's sickness, whether it's the pack not wanting it around because it's hindering the growth and development. But the weakness in our society is almost praised now, where it's almost everybody needs to do this because it fits a capitalistic mold where something that sells is going to be ramparded on the TV. It's going to be all over the place. When they found out sex sells, prostitution through the roof, legal prostitution through the roof. When they realized cannabis, now it's legal. They realize they can get voters if they operate with homosexualities, or if they enhance those things. They realize there's a market for everything. And when people understand that things are being pushed so somebody can get rich or people can make money, that's when people need to wake up and get more natural with their thought process. Because if we take away everybody's TV out of their homes, everybody phones, your natural instinct is to move. Your natural instinct is to go out as a man. Hey, let's do this. Let me build something. Let me do something. A woman's natural instinct is gonna be, you know what? Let me get the kids out the house. This is nothing that, just watch what we do naturally when the TVs are gone, the electronics is gone, and a woman's hormones naturally direct her in a certain way, and a man's testosterone and hormones naturally direct him in a certain way. It's fascinating to watch. If you ever detoxed and you ever fasted away from food and water, from food and drinks, just drink water for a few days, your mindset and the things that you tend to do are more naturally based.
You can go ahead. Oh, you sorry. But yeah, I heard you though. Hades, I got you next in a minute. But I was about to say this. Even though I feel you, I feel you. I heard everything you saying and all that though. I don't know. Like I said, I think I don't know. We probably I get for the most part. I think I get what you or understand what you're saying. But I would say this. What about this part? Can we at least agree on this part that I think it's natural for humans to adapt
Absolutely.
inside and out.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
Absolutely.
just one of the things at least. But go ahead, Hades.
All right. I was just gonna quickly go through each one really quickly, not taking too long on on it. I think they kind of really tie into each other, really, to be honest with you.
Uh-huh.
But
Okay.
what I would say is a real woman or a real man, it would be, I know that's subjective, it is. I mean, I think everybody has their own opinion of what that is, and everybody has their own mindset of what that is. But for me, and where I feel and where my mindset is, I really feel like it's knowing the truth, and not just knowing the truth, knowing yourself. I feel like at the end of the day, the thing that makes you natural, makes you different, well, what can impact your life the most is knowing the truth and knowing who you are, and really not just knowing who you are, but knowing what you are here to do. Because if you know what you're here to do, and you can go through the crucible and you can stop worrying about what everybody else doing, just focus on you, I mean, you become a powerful individual. You become a powerful individual when that confidence comes in. That confidence attracts things naturally. It's crazy how much just having that confidence, having that undeniable strength inside yourself that just, or that undeniable light inside you that just radiates through you, it attracts so much, and it attracts so much success. It attracts, just your life gets better. It really does. And I think people realize that it's important, and that's why we have so many distractions, like he was saying on the TV, so many distractions that come up, and things that are basically here to make you self eval. Oh, sorry. Our society's gotten to a point where it's self evaluation is not a good thing. Self evaluation is not a good thing. Saying you're wrong about something is not a good thing. Not working on these things and not actually coming down to what is actual natural, which is, because all this other stuff, like one of my friends said, all this is material, really. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, you got all this and all this other that, and I mean, I know he was talking about like trans people and like people like that, but the only thing I would say about that is, I've never met a trans person that will argue sex ever in my life, because they won't, because you can't change sex. They say a gender and all this other shit. That's what they talk about. But at the end of the day, you can't change sex. Sex is something that's natural, something that you're doing. And when you can really, really feed into that and really see who you are and know what you're going to do, and you know what your body is. Because, you got some people that's top heavy, some people that's bottom heavy. If you know what you're going to do with that and you can really utilize that, like I said, you're a dangerous person. You're dangerous. And the difference between holding somebody accountable and making someone an example is the intentions, which is, I think that's really the whole thing I'm trying to say, is the mindset is the powerful thing. Somebody having a mindset of, I'm trying to do this for the right reasons, could be holding you accountable. Like, I've had situations where went back and forth with somebody and all they wanted me to do was say I'm sorry and hold accountable. Holding me accountable and just wanted me to say sorry, but not say, but it was because of this and this and this and that and the third. It's I'm sorry. That's it. Whereas making somebody accountable is not like that. It's the intentions are not in even a good place. The intentions, I'm sorry, not always, but you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it is like that, where it's like you're just trying to do this for such a reason. You're doing it for a reason. Whereas holding somebody accountable is just because you're wanting that person to do better, really, in a sense, I feel, mindset wise. But building character and versus building an image, I feel that also comes into, again, the mindset again, where when you're worrying so much about everybody else, like I was saying, instead of just going through the crucible and stop worrying about everybody else, you're worrying too much about your image instead of building that character. Like, I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Z and a lot of animes, and a lot of those, I'm not gonna lie, they tell you build on yourself, like, at the end of the day, it's only gonna be you and what's natural. What's natural is gonna be your hands, with your body, what you got. And at the end of the day, you gotta honestly know what your potential is and do what you're made to do. That's really it. That's all I can really say.
Okay. Life of a blind man. What's the deal, man? You there? Life of. I swear I never heard him talk. Not one time ever since he been up here. I've seen him come on my panel before. Life of a blind man. You there? Oh, let me see. I don't know. You can come back up though when you ready to talk. Uh, Dios. I think I said your name right. I don't know if I said it right. What's
Hello,
up,
host.
man?
How are you?
Welcome to the live. I'm good. I'm blessed. How about yourself?
Good. Many praises. I'm well. Thanks for asking.
Yep.
So for me, I'm just going to go down the list and hopefully you can see my perception. So I agree with your initial point up there in the green. Your fact ain't everyone else's fact. And I feel like what's causing a lot of convolution in the world is that people are arguing perception versus perspective, right? So in my ideology, when we sit here and the question asks, what's a real man or woman? Is it subjective or objective? Who determines that? I would have to agree with what Hades introduced, and also one of the comments that I had mentioned in the comment section, where I said a lot of people don't have knowledge of self. I think that's one of the most important aspects in this world, is having knowledge of who you are in an individual, because if you're not grounded in your standards, your morals, your values, or you just don't have a set form of discipline, you're going to navigate in this world affected by external stimuli. So if you don't have your internal figured out, you're going to learn about yourself through your external environment or through external factors. And I feel like that's where a lot of individuals today are not holding themselves accountable for choosing to live in an image of something that they are naturally not. So, in my perception, what makes a real man or woman is definable by your own perception. And when you share that perspective out into the world, it's not something that's objective in truth, but subjective to them, but objective to yourself. Like, my truth is mine to own and live in, and it's not something that I need anybody to accept or agree with, because we're not here for validation, we're here for truth. I believe in aspects. Knowledge of self creates every other, a lack of knowledge of self creates every other occurring problem that exists in this world, because people are learning about their emotions, about their mind, or just absorbing traits from their environment and then regurgitating it out to the world as if this is who they naturally were. And when you ask what's the difference from holding yourself accountable or making yourself accountable, or make accountable, I think holding yourself accountable is owning up to how certain behaviors or certain actions can either
So with that one, real quick,
heal.
before you do that, before you go too far,
No problem.
as somebody else, right? To hold somebody else accountable and make somebody else be accountable. How you
Okay,
feel about
so
that?
um, I believe that a person who lacks standards, morals, values, and boundaries, or a form of discipline, will never be able to hold others accountable, because they can't see the wrongs in what they do. So how can a person who cannot see their own wrongdoings ever be able to make somebody else accountable if you're not showing the example that you would want somebody else to live by? Not saying that it's something that they necessarily have to. I had a phone call.
Yeah.
Something that they have to agree with. I had a call. Something that they have to agree with.
Hold on, real quick. You gotta hold up. You gotta drop and come back. I got you real quick. This thing tripping. Where you at? Where your name at?
My bad. I apologize for that. So I believe that, like, I to make a person accountable, you have to be able to hold yourself accountable. You can't look at the speck in somebody else's eye if you can't even look at the speck that's in your own eye. If you're doing wrong, how can you ever go out of the way to say that somebody else is doing wrong when you're participating in the same wrongdoings? So I believe knowledge of self and knowing who you are as an individual to become a leader that can not only hold self accountable, but hold the people that you're choosing to guide accountable for their mistakes, for their wrongdoings, and properly guide them into becoming the best version of themselves. So I believe it's about checking each other. When we see that we're straying from the theosophies, the philosophies, or even some of the standards that we set for ourselves, I should be comfortable with another brother or another sister coming up to me and saying, "Hey, look, you introduced this standard, this moral, or this value to me, and I don't see you living by it. This action or this behavior has demonstrated to me that you're not truly living within the knowledge of self. You're living in the knowing of right or wrong, but you're not really applying it. It's almost like having knowledge, but thinking it's wisdom, right? Because you can have knowledge of something, you can have the awareness of something, but because you have that information, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's being applied in your real life, because wisdom is applied knowledge. So I believe when you're building character and build versus building image, image is what you want people to see. And most I would believe majority of people are building an image to be accepted or validated by the outside world. People aren't building a character because the character itself, the character doesn't need to be accepted or validated. When we read a book, there are characters in the book that we don't necessarily agree with, but that's the character, that's who they are. And sometimes people just want to kind of like force the hand. They want to force you out of your character to be, how do I put this? Um, People want to be a master of other people now. They don't want to be the master of self. So what I've seen in this world now today is when you introduce something to somebody now, it's a battle of who's right or wrong instead of trying to understand the perception or the mind of the individual, because we become so sucked up into our distractions with social media and our family and our friends instilling certain views into us that we feel like we have to conform to them, because if we don't, we don't receive the love or the acceptance that we would naturally should be given.
Shout out to let me get my shout outs then. I forgot I
So
gotta start doing it.
so
Real quick, I gotta do my shout out. Good
no
looks,
problem.
Miley for the gift and Jen for the contribution, man. Y'all about to have this the live flowing. Go ahead, my brother. You can go ahead now. I got
So I believe again back to when you were on the top where it says your fact ain't everyone else's fact. I
you.
think that's where a lot of people are getting lost in. We're looking at the same thing, but we just have a different perception on it. So perception versus perspective and knowledge of self is what's caught a lack of knowledge of self is what's causing a lot of the convolution that exists today in society, and why people don't necessarily know much, not just about the world that they currently reside in, but the people that they surround themselves with. And we understand as energetic beings, at least that's what I would like to believe, as energetic beings, we operate a lot on what we internally feel before we even have a fundamental understanding of the external world, because our perception is what creates our reality. It creates our truth. It may not be an objective truth that can be applied to human or to
Right.
every single person on this planet, but at the same time, in the creation of this perception and perspective, there should be a happy medium. There should be understanding and comprehension, because without understanding and comprehension, then there is nothing to talk about.
Mm, all right. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stretch this out because y'all both went through it. I thought y'all. So all right, we're gonna stretch it out so everybody can talk on it. So Rage. I think it's Rage. I think the King.
Thank
Trolley. It ain't.
you. Real quick,
What's up?
I just wanted to give a compliment for the platform. Very, very mature and respectful. It shows a lot of maturity in everybody here in the room, that everybody gets a chance to speak, get whatever they have on their mind off. And the way you're running it, definitely kudos to you for being able to, you know, enhance the natural flow of relaxation. So I just wanted to give
Yeah,
a compliment to everybody.
appreciate you, brother, man. Yeah, I'm trying to learn something. That's all. I'm just trying to understand why all of us so different. You know what I'm saying? So we can know one another. You know.
And also, his mods are a big part of his life too. So you know, what I'm saying, you're welcome for the calmness and the quietness and everybody getting their own turn. You know what I'm saying? Because I will mute people as mother in here.
Appreciate you,
The room
brother.
silent. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't been here in a minute. I'm here now. So I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make these lives and these panels go as smooth as they come. So you know,
Appreciate you, man. And since you was there, mod. What's the difference between holding accountable and making accountable? And give an example.
Okay, so holding somebody accountable is putting them. I feel like is putting them in a place that they should be instead of being in a place where they want to be. If they continue to make excuses about things that they know they can change, and they continue to do those same things over and over again, that is not them being accountable. So you have to, hey, look, I'm holding you accountable for this because you don't who did this. You made that decision. You made that choice. But then, as to make somebody accountable, is you basically forcing your things as a the things that you do that you're supposed to be held accountable onto somebody else. So that it's basically like guilt tripping. That's basically
Mhm.
what accountable is. You get guilt tripping somebody else into the accountable things that you should be taken accountable for instead of you taking accountability for yourself.
Young Ray
Okay.
Johnson, he still ain't changed that battery in his smoke detector.
Boy, I did just hear that too.
Never
Right.
talk. Listen here.
Hey,
Listen
bro,
here.
I don't care nothing about that. I'm glad to hear you, bro. I was just finna ask where you had been. I hadn't heard or seen you in a minute. So I was
Nah,
worried about you. I'm glad to hear your voice.
I've been popping in and out of lives, but I don't stay for long because the lives y'all been in, y'all been having like some real big behind lives, and it's been getting toxic. So I was like, yeah, see, I'm gonna save my mental and not even do it.
Hey,
And leave you alone.
first live. That was my first live. Like, it was Kev fault because he told me that it was gonna be like that, and I didn't listen. But it's still Kev's fault.
Ah, man.
You should have taken that accountability yourself.
Right. He said they're not an accountability room. It's somebody else's fault. That's crazy.
Yep, that's it. I got
What's
an
the deal,
accountability
my
room. It's
brother
Kev
Mary that
fault.
got in the building, man? So since you the newest one, so I can get you caught up, and then it's Jay Love after that, she gonna start the second question too. Well, Rage already did. So you on the first one though. So with the topic fact and in fact, what you got?
I'm driving, so what is it?
The topic is the fact. A fact ain't your fact ain't everyone else's fact. And then the first question is, what is a real, in quotations, man or woman is it subjective or objective, and who determines that?
All right. Well, first off, a fact is a fact. Facts aren't like opinions or anything else. They don't change or adjust based on how people feel or think. A fact is a fact. If you take water and put it in cold, it's gonna turn to ice. That fact doesn't change because you feel that it shouldn't be that way. So facts are facts. With TikTok, I guess we're trying to feel that we can change facts because of the way we feel, but the fact is a fact. That's why it's called a fact. You have nonfiction and you have fiction because you have things that are real and things that are not real. So you have some things that are just sustained, and that's what it is. Or like we say, there are some things that are just absolute. We try to say that there are no absolutes, but you need to breathe oxygen. You need to eat food. You need to drink water. You need to have your blood pumping. You need to have your internal organs moving and operating. We need heat. We need cold. So there's things that are just absolute that we have no control over. Those are just facts. So what is a real man and what is a real woman?
So before you go to that one real quick, so okay, I like how you said that a fact is a fact, right? So how about this? If a one man say, hey, I kiss my woman, I turn on every time, right? That's a fact. Is that a fact for other men?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Just try to put us on the same page though, because everybody's fact. That's what I mean about the topic. Everybody's fact is not everybody's fact.
Right.
But it's a fact.
Right.
To
Now
him,
something like that. Right. Yeah. Now something like that. But that's something that what's your word? That's what's your word? Give me your word,
Yeah,
kid.
it's on there. You must have skipped
Objective.
over because of the
Objective.
tree. It's subjective,
I
right?
can't. Yeah, subjective. Yeah, that's subjective. I can't. Like I said, I'm driving, so I ain't had a chance to look at it.
Oh yeah,
But yeah, that's
I said that part. You probably blocked that because you hate that word. What the heck is that word?
yeah. That's your word to me, and you be fighting about because I had you, and then you'll come with the subjective, and now you done wiggle
Yep,
out of it. And I'm like, that
yep.
don't matter. Forget it. I don't want to
Nah,
talk no
forget.
more.
Yes, yes, yes.
I have a
But
question real quick, if you
go
don't
ahead.
mind, for Mirror. Mirror. So, do you believe that these concepts are only contingent on the fact that humans have a physical body? Like, would these concepts would be definable as reality if we did exist or didn't exist, or is it contingent on something specific?
They would still, the facts would still be the facts regardless if we were here or not. The facts don't change because of us. There's nothing we can do to change facts. You plant a tree, you give it the proper water, the proper things, it's going to grow a tree. There's nothing we can do to change that. The facts are the facts. We just want to try to make facts subjective or try to change facts
How do
in
you,
order.
so how do you do that with so how do you do that without humans?
It wouldn't change because of humans. Only things humans
Right.
are here to. Only thing we do are observe it. All we do is observe it, and then try to justify it, answer it, or whatever we can to try to make it fit to us. But it doesn't change because of us. We don't change anything.
Yeah, just like we can't make the Earth. Even without humans, the Earth still gonna spin.
Right. Even if
I
it's
think
flat.
I think there's I think there's I
That's
think there's
objective.
I think there's misunderstanding in what I introduced. We understand that reality as a whole is going to continue to exist with or without human beings because reality is real. It does exist. But the concepts that we're sitting here sharing today, is it something that is objective in reality without human beings to have their own interpretation of what we consider something to be
A fact.
reality, something to be objective, or something to be true? Would these things still remain if human beings did not exist?
Well, I do feel like, to for the most part, I think a lot of facts are what is the social construct, right? Because I also seen some facts turn into a change, right? They change. Just like Pluto used to be a planet, and then it turned into a moon. It was a fact that it was a planet, right? But then
It's
later
still
down the
playing.
line, they changed it to it said it was a moon. So, I mean, who said which one was real or not? You know what I'm saying? So it's based off of what they write in that book that make it a fact. So that's why I mean, I guess by saying it's a human construct or whatever they write down or put in law or and this how I look at facts. It's like a bunch of opinions that got stamped. A big old vote. Like, all right, we're going to call this color green. We're going to call this. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people had to come up with this thing to make it be what it is. You know what I'm saying? Or name it right. Or, you know what I'm saying? So it's the studies and all that stuff to make it be called a certain thing or whatever. So that's how I look at it. It's just like they
But
said.
Right.
but the color green and something being called green can be subjective because there are different ways to get to green. There are only three colors that are cannot be made by anything but themselves: red,
Mm-hmm.
blue, and yellow. That's it.
Okay.
Only
Mm-hmm.
three colors that you can get. So green doesn't fall into that. Green can be mixed with blue. Green can be mixed. We all got taught what is it? Yellow and blue make green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Hey
Right.
Google, cancel. So, but then we also know that, you can take white and put it in blue and start swirling that thing around and change
So
the
she
color
said.
of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or because this is the other thing. What's green to you may not be green to me. What's blue to you may not be blue to me. Because we all
True.
see things differently, the way the
True.
light reflects off of it. So color is one of those things that can be subjective and be changed. It's not a fact.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not, because it can be changed and it can be altered. And that's what I
Mm-hmm.
think facts, when we talk about facts are things that just cannot be altered. They can't be changed. They just are what they are. The world spins around. Fact. We know this to be a fact. You see what I'm saying? The world
Mm-hmm.
has axis. Fact. The world has water, grass. Fact. We can't change those things.
You
But
can't change.
some of these things that we talk about, we can change.
True.
those aren't facts.
Mm-hmm.
Those are opinions. That's all I wanted to interject.
Mm-hmm. For sure. For sure.
Hey, Mira.
And I don't agree with nothing she just said.
Mira gets on my last nerve.
He said,
She gets on my nerves.
Hey, if I'm getting on your nerves, that means I'm doing my job very well.
and that's a
Well,
fact.
now that's a fact.
That's a
That's truly
fact.
a fact. Mira know exactly what
Hey,
she's
He
doing.
said it's objective too. That'd be
hey,
funny too. It's
hey,
an objective
hey,
fact.
J Love, you know I made it. You know I done made it. I done made the TikTok. I'm TikTok famous now.
Are you TikTok
Mm-hmm.
famous?
Yep, I
What?
only had I had my second live, and now somebody already done took and made a live about me.
Oh, well, look, you doing good then, bro. You doing real good. If that happened to you, bravo, bravo,
He hit a
bravo.
nerve.
You is doing your job, bro. Good job.
Yep,
I'm proud
I
of
took
you.
somebody off.
He's I'm
Yes, I
proud of
took
you. Like, I'm
somebody off.
proud of you. Your face is around the streets.
You is
Yep,
in the
I done took
club
somebody
now.
off.
Look, you is in the club. Welcome.
I've made it.
Wow.
I've made it.
You made it. Mama, I made it. Wow.
Mama always said it was gonna be days like this.
I'm trying to tell you. Well, who you done upset to make the TikTok streets?
Some feminists. So that's why
Oh,
Kevin and them told me that they gonna have to, that when y'all come to try to protect me, to be quiet and let y'all do what y'all gotta do and look out for me, because I'm gonna need y'all.
sir, listen. Look, I got called anti-black yesterday, so I mean, there you go.
Ouch.
For real,
Oh
you?
my.
J Love,
Yeah,
J Love, the
You?
same thing
Not
I
the
happened to
am
me.
coon.
I'm a
Not
whole
a.
anti-black person
The
because
same, the same.
I don't believe that all black businesses are correct in what they do, and so because I hold
Boy,
them
Mary,
accountable,
what the
I
heck?
am anti-black.
No, I'm not yelling. I have a thing. Thank you. I'm
The
actually
background
sitting.
going
Never mind.
crazy. I could even hear
Me moving around.
that.
So there you go. But so Mira, it's okay. We in the club together. Welcome.
Well, the
Welcome. How
thing
do it
was, they
J
feel?
couldn't
Love,
even,
you know
it
what's
felt
funny,
good,
J
but the
Love?
thing was,
You know, one thing I've noticed about TikTok. Hold on.
The
said,
same thing happened to me yesterday when I joined somebody's live and I asked them what their IQ was. And they said, "Oh, you're being anti black." No, I'm being anti stupid. You know what I'm saying? If you don't have a proper IQ, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to sit here and argue with somebody who doesn't even have the awareness of something on a collegiate level. You understand what I'm saying? And like when we get into conversations, I feel like a lot of people are at their own level of awareness and they try to supersede other individuals by saying, "Oh, well, this is the right way. This is the wrong way." You know, I I've always in any kind of conversation where there are things that are being introduced, that is something that is important to me because I took my Mensa test. I have a 132, and I can literally show my results if I need to because I want people to know where I'm coming from as far as my intelligence goes. Because a lot of people claim that they're intelligent, but put them on the show. Are you smarter than a fifth grader? I promise you, 50% of them will fail, or at least a little bit more than that.
That's facts. I'm
But is
sorry about
IQ
that.
intelligence though? Does IQ mean that you're intelligent?
IQ is basically the
I'm just
acknowledgement that
asking.
you're
I'm not
able.
arguing. I'm asking. Does IQ
It's
mean because you have a high IQ? Does that mean that you're intelligent? I
I,
don't. That's what I'm trying to.
IQ's basic formula and basic theory is you are able to think outside of the box. You're able to be able to construct or give dynamic thinking to problems, being able to solve problems. So in essence, you are more capable than the person that may have a lower score. But common sense and book smarts are two different things, and they have
Exactly.
two different ways of being applied. So I feel like everybody has something to offer. Some people just have more to offer in certain areas.
Okay. I was
I
just
agree.
wondering.
Hmm.
I was just asking because I mean, you know,
I don't bring nothing to the
I was
table.
just curious. How about that? Let me stay right there. I was just curious.
And
I
Um.
don't
that's a
bring nothing.
fact.
I don't bring nothing
That'll be
to
the
the
word
table.
of the day.
Look, I don't bring nothing to the table. Matter of fact, I'm gonna cut the legs off of your table.
Well, Well, look, this is how I feel about it. I think it's even simpler. It's even simpler on the arguing point. It's even simpler than your IQ level. I don't argue with people who can't write in cursive, and I just leave it at that. That
No,
that that's
Hey,
actually,
that's a
hey,
more simplistic way of looking at
I don't
life.
argue. I don't argue with people who can't pronunciate the words that they're trying to argue with me against.
Well, that might be that's a true fact too.
right.
Or don't even understand the etymology of words either. You have a lot of people who don't even know denotation of words, and it's like, how are you going to argue if you don't even understand the linguistics of things?
Hey, Rage, you're a misogynist for that comment.
I see Chloe
That
said the
comment
same.
was very misogynistic.
I kind of want to answer Love's question though. When it comes down to IQ tests and IQ representations, the 100 is an average, and the average goes by national. So in the United States, if the 100 is average and the average doesn't quite meet the emotional awareness, a lot of the cognitive functions that happen in the frontal lobe are also associated with the emotional spectrum. So it's not necessarily the individual's problem as much as it is the national problem. If we want IQs to be higher, we have to have a higher bar all around, because a 115 is technically a global average, right? But here in America, the average is just 100, and that's by the American scale. That's not by the global scale, if
Global
that makes
scale.
any sense.
Yeah, but you know what happens if we have more intelligent people? If we have more intelligent people, then I can't keep you in poverty. I can't keep you poor. I can't keep you fighting each other. I can't keep you distracted. I can't keep all this mess that I got. I can't keep all my money and all my power. So
But
as
you
long as I
also
keep
can't
you,
keep a
as
nation.
long as I keep you poor, but they figure that the poor money is worth more than having more intelligent people. Just as we're getting ready to go be distracted by our Coliseum, because me and Kev got to go watch the Lions play the Bucks. But
Pause, bro. It's not
but
about
you,
money, bro. It's
but
about
it's
control. If y'all
yeah,
was young and I give y'all
but
money, I give y'all all the money in the world, because dumb people gonna do whatever with that money. But when you
right.
smart, I can't control you. I can't make you think what I want you to think. I can't make you do what I want you to do. That's
But you
all
Right.
it's
can be as
about.
smart as you want. But you can be as smart as you want to be, because there's so many intelligent people on this planet who you still yet fall victim to the same trap that the rest of us fall victim to, because you caught into a society and a group of people where you can't necessarily move the way you need to move or want to move. It becomes hard. It's not saying that it's impossible. It just becomes harder. The directions you're trying to go.
And basically that's why I believe like a lot of what has gone in now was the assimilation of things. We've assimilated ourselves with society, and a lot of people, they cannot operate without the thought process of a collective hive mind in society. A lot of people rule with the majority, and if you happen to be a minority, regardless of you're loved or hated, a lot of people don't understand that if you're not a part of the majority, you're going to be hated. People are going to cast rocks at you, and those rocks may not be physical rocks. Those rocks today are people's words, and they try to assassinate your character and your identity so that they can get you to conform to their views, which is, again, if you don't have knowledge of self, somebody's going to be the master of you.
And can I say something on the back of that? What if I
Real
told
quick,
you?
bro.
Oh, go ahead,
Real
bro.
quick. So it's not necessarily to get you to conform. Sometimes it's just to try to get you to kill your message that's against them. And see what people don't
Link one in the
understand is
chat.
they think that if they think that they can unalive. I gotta get it one in
Wouldn't
today.
be you.
I gotta get one in today. And I didn't even realize I do it.
One a
But
day. Like a
but
vitamin.
yes, it is. But they have to unalive the messenger, because they feel like if they unalive the messenger, then if they can discredit the messenger, then they can unalive the message. So like you saying that all women need to carry themselves in such a way and this and that, but then they can turn around and say, well, you sit up here and you sleep with all these women and you do this, so you basically are a negative to what you're saying. So basically, if they can discredit you, then they can discredit the message, even though the message shouldn't be discredited. The truth is the truth. The facts are the facts. It doesn't change because of who's bringing the message. If I come and tell you that the alphabet is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but like J Love said, I can't write it in cursive, it still don't change that the alphabet is still A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Like, can I say something off of what Bruh said? 'Cause just before I forget, to tell you the truth, we were meant to have a hive mind. The problem is the people that's leading us don't have our best intentions. We were meant to have a hive mind. We were all meant to think like for each other. We were meant to love each other. We were meant to look out for each other. We were meant to do that. It's just that the people that's in control or feeding us, because we all need to have one sign, one body, and one mind, one body. That's how you build something. That's how you make a business. You got to have the same goals and intentions. The only difference is now we don't have the same goals and intentions. They twist us to go against each other. Now, if we would have had a high mind where we all loved each other, we all cared about each other, we all respect each other, you ain't have to worry about where your kids was, you ain't have to worry about where your money going, you ain't have to worry about your food. This would be a utopia. But the fact
But
is,
do you not believe? But do you not believe that that's due to personal individuals' inability to want to actually care about another person's perspective? And this is why I say most of what we're facing today is a perception versus perspective battle, and people wanting to be right or wrong instead of us again trying to understand and comprehend one another. Like, would you
well,
not say that when we say they, the government or whatever global fraternities that people want to say nowadays today, is it really at the fault of just the government or is it at the fault of society as a whole? Because we, the
It's
people, have the power.
it's
no,
actually
it's the fault.
so.
Let me respond and I let you go. It's the fault of the people up top, bro. Because how you work, and that's what a lot of people need to learn. You need to learn that when you're born, you don't know anything. You have inherent traits that you will exercise if you're given into that environment. So if you're never introduced into that environment, you would not show those inherent traits. So you can be brainwashed anyway. So if the people in power is passing down the brainwash to you, like I want you to be a suicide bomber, the chances of you not being a suicide bomber and being raised from birth to be one is damn near 90%. You're gonna be a suicide bomber. So the people at the top
You
is
might have to
constantly
stick with the
controlling your
word
information.
unalive bomber, 'cause I don't know
Oh,
if you
I'm
said
sorry,
that.
I'm
I don't
sorry,
know yet, just to be safe. I don't know.
but that's Eric Erickson's
But me,
blank slate. We all come into the world as a blank slate. So whatever you're taught, and what we're taught is from the people at the top. But we should
Well,
be getting taught by our parents and stuff like that. But obviously, we work too much for them to actually teach us.
I like
And can't a person undo those things? Like, even though you were instilled with certain
It take
views,
time.
certain personality
and
traits, can you not
what that.
You have to
rewire
be
But can I
those?
aware
finish?
of that first.
But I want to finish because Kev gave me the match, and now I want to set the room on fire. I want to watch it burn. I'm gonna sit in here and watch it burn, and I'm gonna sit right in the middle of it while it burns. So, what is a real man and what is a real woman? Well, biology says that a real man is born with genital with the penis. A real woman is born with the genitalia of a vagina. They're considered male and female. We have gender reveals that only are two different sexes because there are only two sexes. To say that I was born to be something else and God made a mistake, let's do some serious digging into your life and your history and see before you make this choice and decision to see if there's something that possibly happened in your life that affected you to cause you to feel that way. Is there something that you see from the other sex that you think that they're benefiting that makes you want that benefit? Let's dig deeper into the psyche and let's see if it's that you really feel that way or is it that you just see the benefits over on the other side and you want those benefits?
I can answer that question in the form of
I wasn't
question.
trying to go that route when I was saying it, but hey,
I, I can actually answer
You
that
already
question.
know. I told you gave me the match. I'm gonna light the room
I
up and set it
wasn't
on
trying to
fire, and
go
I'm gonna
that
sit in the
route.
middle of it, and I'll sit in the middle of
I
it.
was going the way that people like say people that be in if you in a relationship or if you out of relationship, people always determine what a real man is or a real woman is,
Yeah,
and
but
that's what I was going to with that because
yeah,
I
but I
kind of
think
see
we
it as
kind of
objective. So.
Yeah, but I think we kind of, to the point in the day and age we are right now, I think we even need to break it down to define what a man and a woman is just by our biology and then go to that. Because to say what's a real man or what's a real woman, it's objective. Who's to say what's a real man or what's a real woman? Who's to tell,
Facts.
and that's definitely the thing. I know for a fact that I'm not letting somebody of the opposite sex tell me what I am as a man. To tell me how are you able to tell me what I am and you ain't never walked in my shoes? You ain't
You are
never,
completely
you know,
right.
You know, you might have peed standing up, but I'm pretty sure it got all over your legs. I don't have that issue. You know,
That's
you know,
facts, though. That's facts.
there's certain things that I have to go through and deal with. You know, when I wake up in the morning and I got a flagpole and I got to figure out what to do with this thing and what's going on. You know, there's different stuff that I have to deal with that a woman doesn't have to deal with, that she can't tell me about being a man, and vice versa. I do not know about a period. I don't know about you know, your hormones. I don't know about having a baby. I don't know what it feels like to be a woman and have sex with a man. I can't tell you. I have no clue. But I can tell you what it's like on the man side. So I'm now in a day in my life now where I have an understand. Real men wear the pink. I don't care what you think. I'm not wearing pink because I don't believe a man should wear pink. And the people who tell me that usually aren't a man. So I'm no longer allowing anybody who's not a man.
You muted.
TikTok did not like the words you were saying.
Well, to answer both
banana.
questions, not so much as the leadership as it is the process. It's biology. So when it comes down to why we are the way we are, it's due to capitalism. Like, there are many, many studies that just mere proximity to money alters a person's perspective of oneself and the
Hey,
world
real
around.
quick, y'all, because this is what I gotta do when people get banana. Everybody follow me real quick. And everybody, so we can get back to this topic, because I'm gonna do a quick reset.
Heard.
So I'm gonna give y'all a chance to follow me real quick, and then reset in about 2
Okay,
seconds.
finish this up real quick.
Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, hard to follow you, bro.
So yeah, because of that, people naturally cave into the biological functions of the human brain. You know, they're lazy. Naturally, human beings are lazy. Naturally, we're created for the purpose of continuing our lazy behavior. And that all goes into capitalism. And capitalism starts affecting culture, and then culture affects perspective, which perpetuates supremacy, bias, sexism, all different forms of prejudice. Right. And that's how these things end up becoming part of cultures, which goes into how we define things. Technically, the gentleman that was up here earlier, if TikTok got rid of him, it's because of the definition of man and woman, which is actually a title. What he was speaking on was gender, which is male and female. So like he said before, a person can try and put a perspective on something that they're not familiar with. But how we typically define men is more so defined by the practices that we do in our own life, because it is a title. A man's going to go out and work a labor job, right? Whereas a woman's going to go out there and work a secretary job or something that's less physically intensive. And when we look at people who identify with a specific title, they don't live in the concepts of how we define men, even if they have the genitalia.
And so this is what we gonna do next time, so we can know people don't get in trouble. We gonna stay away from that type of way. So we gonna stay to the terms where relationship wise and stuff, when we say determine man and woman and all that, or real man and a real woman. Because I see.
So wait, did TikTok really
ain't
kick him?
fun. Huh?
If
I
it
was
didn't, somebody else got
joking
it.
when I said that. Did TikTok really kick him?
Yeah, they kicked him. Yeah, I said it said community guidelines on my page.
Oh,
So he might have said something a little too deep. That's why I try to stay away from that topic, because it'd be people that either reporting or something. Hopefully be able to fight that appeal it or something. Because it's probably, you got to really watch what you say, especially when you say stuff like that. So you got to kind of watch your wording after that, because they's really watching from that point, and say hate speech or something. But all right, y'all, give me 1 second. If y'all follow me, I'm about to reset right now. Give me a second.